is football season. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the kickoff of the NFL season. It is 2024. Week 1, ladies and gentlemen, so prepare for 5 months of football. Free agency, the draft, OTAs, training camp, and preseason have all come and gone, so it is time for the real thing. Today, the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers are in Atlanta to take on the new and improved Falcons. Both teams will start a new quarterback as Kirk Cousins begins his Falcons career. Justin Fields begins his Steelers career as a replacement for the expected starter Russell Wilson, who's dealing with a calf injury. Wilson won the starting job after preseason, but it was reported yesterday that the chances were low that Wilson would be able to play because of his injury. He tried it during warm-ups, but the former Chicago Bears quarterback will have the reins today. On the road sideline will be a familiar face to Falcons fans. Arthur Smith is now the Steelers offensive coordinator after 3 years in Atlanta as the head coach. We'll get to all of the connections between these two teams later. Last season was a rough one in the ATL. The Falcons went 7-10 and wholly revamped this defense with the additions of Matthew Judon and Justin Simmons in the offseason, and offensive additions of Kirk Cousins and Darnell Mooney to complement the already explosive Bijan Robinson and Drake London. They also hired a familiar name, Raheem Morris, who is back for his second stint with the team as a head coach. He spent the past 3 seasons as the Rams defensive coordinator and won a Super Bowl back in 2021. But before that, he was briefly the Falcons' interim head coach back in 2020. He replaces the previously mentioned Arthur Smith. Regarding the Steelers, they went 10-7 last season with the ragtag group of Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky under center, barely sneaking into the playoffs before being quickly dumped in the wild card round by the Bills. Expectations are always high for a team coached by Mike Tomlin, considering he hasn't had a losing season in any of the 17 years leading the black and yellow. It's a clean slate for both teams with high anticipation, so let's get ready for kickoff. Good morning, everybody. It is week 1 of the NFL season, and the Rain Delay broadcast is back for year number 3, 3.5 if you count the end of the 2021 season. I'm excited for the first real broadcast of the season. Steelers and Falcons getting ready to take the field. Kickoff is quite soon. Steelers in white jerseys, Falcons in black. But the biggest story, Russell Wilson, who was signed in the offseason by the Steelers, he's not going to play today, dealing with a calf injury. So that means that Justin Fields, acquired in a trade, will be the man with the ball. And speaking of those Steelers, they're getting ready to take the field. Back to return are the Atlanta Falcons. So Kirk Cousins will get the ball first for this ATLians. Raheem Morris, his first season as the Falcons' official head coach, 19th coach in Falcons history, spent 6 seasons on the Falcons coaching staff. Mike Tomlin, 17 straight seasons with an over 500 record. That's the 3rd longest in NFL history, behind Bill Belichick and Bill Parcells. Chris Boswell getting ready to kick it away, and we are underway. Remember that dynamic kickoff. Ray McLeod deep to return, fields it his own 1, brings it straight out, up across the middle to the 20, splits through defenders, and down at the 30-yard line. Ray McLeod gets the game underway, and Kirk Cousins now taking the field for the first time as a Atlanta Falcon. His first season with the Falcons after 6 spent in Minnesota. He's the first quarterback in NFL history to tear his Achilles and then start another game. Tore it last season late in the year. Ball starts at the 30-yard line. Kirk Cousins under center. In the backfield, Bijan Robinson. Here's a give to Robinson running left, straight up the middle, and then brought down. Gain of about 6 on the play. Offensive line, Jake Matthews, Matthew Bergeron, Drew Dahlman is the center, Chris Lindstrom at right guard, Caleb McGarry at right tackle. The receivers today are London, acquired in the offseason, Darnell Mooney, Kyle Pitts at tight end. Other tight end is Charlie Warner, free agent acquisition, and Bijan Robinson is the running back. 2nd and 3 now. Warner in motion. He's now going to settle down around the 30-yard line. It's another give to Robinson running left. He's going to try to be spun down, brought down on the play by Larry Ogunjobi. Steelers defense today, Cameron Hayward, who just signed a big extension a few days ago. Keanu Benton, nose tackle. And then Ogunjobi, TJ Watt, Patrick Queen, Landon Roberts, and Alex Highsmith. Queen brought over from Baltimore, the division rival. Dante Jackson, a trade acquisition. Joey Porter Jr., Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Deshaun Elliott are your safeties. After the first down pickup, it's Cousins with a give to Robinson to the left again. 3 straight run plays for Atlanta, and he'll be brought down after a pickup of 4. Patrick Queen, who began his career as a first-round pick out of LSU by the Ravens, now moving over to the division rival Steelers. Cousins under center. His first pass attempt is going to throw to Mooney. It is nearly picked by Jackson. The trade acquisition from the Carolina Panthers brought in exchange for Deontay Johnson. Jackson nearly made his first big play with his new team. Taking another look at it, Kyle Pitts, the former 4th overall pick a few years ago, that pass was behind Mooney and nearly went into the hands of the aforementioned Dante Jackson. Ray McLeod in the game, he's going to shuffle around. 3rd and 6. Here comes the pressure. Cousins whips it across the middle. It's brought down by Mooney. His first catch as a Falcon, picks up the first down. That's a pickup of 15 on the play. Nice catch and throw. And the first completion in a black uniform for Kirk Cousins. It was Mooney again on Dante Jackson. This time he got away from him, and he picks up the first down. Ball at the Pittsburgh 41-yard line. Cousins now calling out an audible with Robinson to his left. They have jumped. Cousins throws downfield, overthrowing Ray McLeod. There is a flag down. Kind of ended up in no man's land. We'll check the flag and see what happened there. It looked like maybe it might be a false start on. They're going to call a automatic first down, a neutral zone infraction on Alex Highsmith. Highsmith has recorded 7 multi-sack seasons in his multi-sack games in his career. Cousins last year in only 8 games had 18 passing touchdowns. The Falcons as a whole had only 17 in 17 games. Robinson and Tyler Algier in the backfield. This is a give to Algier running left. He's going to break through tackles, carrying a defender, picks up the first down, finally brought down by Adams. Pick up of 13 all the way down to the Steelers' 23-yard line. So a couple of penalties, a couple of quick passes, and a couple of nice runs has set up this drive for the Falcons. They are now just outside of the red zone. Algier with his first carry. There was going to be some talk about how the Falcons were going to use him last season with Raheem Morris with the Rams as the defensive coordinator. The Rams, they barely used any backup running backs outside of Kyron Williams. Under 11 minutes to go now. And to give, Robinson running left, trying to get around Queen. He makes a move, pushed out of bounds. Pickup of 5 on the play. Pushed out by DeMonte Casey, the former Falcon. Good run by Robinson. And speaking of Robinsons, the new offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson, spent the last 6 seasons on the Rams staff, came over with Raheem Morris. Cousins now is 1 of 2 for 15 yards. Robinson 4 carries for 19 yards. Just outside of the end zone now. From the 18, 2nd and 5. Mooney shifts out wide. Cousins is going to look his way. Pass caught by London. He's trying to spin through a tackle. Finally brought down. He was brought down by Casey. Broke a tackle from Landon Roberts. Picks up a first. And the drive continues down to the 13-yard line. Wrestled down by DeMonte Casey, who was suspended late in last season. He's a big hitter. Suspended for that huge hit on Michael Pittman. A helmet-to-helmet hit. Here's a give. Robinson, look out! TJ Watt in the backfield. We were talking about TJ Watt a couple days ago. Watt, when he's healthy, the Steelers in games that he's played in are 69-33-2 in his career. In games that he hasn't played, they're 1-11. Today, though, he got into the backfield, beat the right tackle Caleb McGarry with a bit of a juke move, and drops Robinson for a 3-yard loss. Last season, 19 sacks. He's led the NFL in sacks in 3 different seasons. 2020, 2021, and last year. 2nd and goal. Cousins just threw it into the ground. That play looked a little funky from the start. It was intended for Drake London. 3rd and goal. The last time these two teams played back in December of 2022, the Steelers won that game. It was here in Atlanta. 3rd and goal. Falcons struggled in the red zone last season. This is a blitz coming. Picked up, pass to Robinson. He's going to be short of the end zone. Pick up about 6 or 7 on the play. Robinson made the catch. He was used a lot as a receiver last season, brought down by the rookie Peyton Wilson. And the Falcons will attempt a field goal. Younghoe Koo last year was very solid. Has never missed inside of 30 yards in his career. Inside 50 in his last year, he was 29 of 31. The 24-yard attempt is up and good. Koo gets the Falcons on the board, the first points of this young season. Kirk Cousins led the drive down the field from the 30 all the way down to the Steelers 6, but they settle for 3. Coming up, Justin Fields will take the field for his Steelers debut. A 5-minute and 54-second drive results in 3 points for the Atlanta Falcons. Cousins was 3 of 5 for 30 yards on the scoring drive. The Falcons had won the toss and elected to receive, so the Steelers will get it in the second half. It'll be Bradley Pinion getting ready to kick it off to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Justin Fields waits on the sideline. Pinion with the boot, and the Steelers will let it go out the back of the end zone for a touchback. That will set the Steelers up at the 30-yard line. Justin Fields has a 10-28 record in the 3 seasons as a Bears quarterback. Steelers offensive line: Dan Moore, Spencer Anderson, Zach Frazier, James Daniels at right guard, and Broderick Jones. If you notice, James Daniels with the Guardian cap, Najee Harris, George Pickens, Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin Jr., and Pat Freiermuth, who just signed a contract extension himself a few days ago, make up the offense. Fields under center. It's a fumbled snap. Watch out! First snap under center is a fumble. Fields dives on top of it. A pickup of 3 on the play, though. That was not how you want to start your football playing career, that's for sure. The rookie Zach Frazier and the new quarterback Fields were not on the same page right there. 2nd and 7. Spencer Anderson getting the start at left guard with Isaac Seumalo out. Fields takes a snap, drops back, scrambles out to his right. Going to throw for Jefferson, way offline. Incomplete. 3rd and 7. We mentioned earlier how these two teams have a lot of connections. Cordero Patterson spent the past 3 seasons. He's now the Steelers kick returner and backup running back. Arthur Smith, obviously. DeMonte Casey, Ray McLeod, Van Jefferson, who we just saw, missed the pass. Scotty Miller spent last season in Atlanta and is now in Pittsburgh. And Michael Pruitt, backup tight end. There's connections galore between these two teams. 3rd and 7 now. Jimmy Lake is the Falcons' defensive coordinator. Matthew Judon, just acquired in a trade a few weeks ago. And with the play clock winding down, the Steelers have to take a timeout. Ugly drive so far. A fumble, but they still were able to gain 3 yards on the play, and then an incompletion, and then a timeout. Grady Jarrett, David Onyemata, Zach Harrison make up the offensive line. Judon, Troy Anderson, Caden Ellis, and Lorenzo Carter are the linebackers. A.J. Terrell and Mike Hughes are your cornerbacks. Jesse Bates, Justin Simmons, and D. Alford make up the rest of the secondary. Arthur Smith went 7-10 in every season as the Steelers head coach, or as the Falcons head coach, excuse me. Picked up from the Tennessee Titans after he was their offensive coordinator. Now in the black and yellow. Jalen Warren in the game. He missed a couple games in the preseason. Last year, the Steelers were 22nd in 3rd down conversion rate. Frazier, the center, snaps it back to Fields, who's going to roll out to his right. He can use his legs. He's going to run. He's going to pick up a 1st down, dive forward all the way up to the 45. That's the thing about Justin Fields. He can scramble with the best of them. Arguably one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the NFL. Saw Grady Jarrett coming up with the pressure. Fields scrambled out to his right. Last season, 4 rushing touchdowns, 657 yards on the ground. That was with a much worse offensive line, though. Here's a give to Najee Harris. His first carry of the season is a pickup of 4 on the play to the 49. Harris has had 3 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons to begin his career. He's going to be the Steelers' bell cow this season. Last year, 1,035, 8 touchdowns on the ground. In his career, he's had 22 on the ground and 6 through the air. Matthew Judon goes to the sideline taking a break. Freiermuth in motion from left to right. Harris in the backfield. Falcons are going to rush 6 on the play. Here's a toss to the left, kind of a weird play. Harris bangs through. Whoa! Look at Najee Harris going right into A.J. Terrell. Falcons were looking for a flag there. There's none. Look at that. That was a big hit levied by the big running back. On the much smaller cornerback. Harris 6'2", 242. It's another give to Harris right up the middle. He's going to power forward. They needed 3, and it looks like they got it. They did. Looking at the right guard, you may notice that he has sort of a funky looking helmet. It's the new Guardian caps intended for injury prevention, concussion prevention. It's James Daniels. He's one of a handful of players who are wearing the Guardian caps. Michael Pruitt, the former Falcon, from left to right. Fields drops back, is going to look scan, he's going to dump it off to Harris, who can't haul it in, incomplete, off his hand. Harris was coming out of the backfield from the left, and it looked like he did not turn his head all the way around before trying to snatch that ball out of the air. Free agent acquisitions in the offseason, the Falcons brought in Justin Simmons, former Denver Bronco. Him and Jesse Bates make up a fearsome secondary. This Falcons team feels like they have probably the best chance to win that NFC South. Play action. Fields rolls out to his right. Pass caught by Farm with his first completion of the season. Brought down by Jesse Bates, who we were just talking about. Pickup of about 4 on the play. Bates with the nice tackle. His second season in Atlanta after 6 spent in Cincinnati. Cordero Patterson, in his first season as a Steeler after a handful of them in Atlanta, his career kind of got resurrected by the Atlanta Falcons after they converted him to running back. He'd been a wide receiver most of his career, kind of a kick return specialist. He gets the carry right here, straight up the middle. He's going to push the pile. He's going to get some push, and he's going to get driven down. Pickup of only 2 on the play. Cordero Patterson, everyone knows him for his kick return abilities. He's now 33 years old and is still going. Last year, 50 carries for only 181 yards. That brings up 4th down. So Chris Boswell will come into the game, attempt his first field goal of the season. Last year, 93.5%. And last year from 50 plus, this is a 57-yarder. That was his longest of the season. Last year was 6 of 7. Career long of 59. Snap down, kick on the way. It is perfect. So both teams with longer drives, and both of them settle for field goals. So 3-3 so far, 4:37 to go here in the first quarter. We'll be back. Welcome back. Another drive results in 3 points for the Steelers. It's evened up at 3. That 3rd and 6 play call with a handoff to Cordero Patterson. Not sure if that would be the case if Russell Wilson was the quarterback. They likely would have thrown on that play. Here's a kickoff that will be fielded in the end zone and brought down for the touchback by Avery Williams. Falcons will start at their own 30-yard line. Some scores around the league. The Indianapolis Colts against the Houston Texans. Alec Pierce with a 60-yard touchdown catch from Anthony Richardson makes it 7-0 Colts in front. 4.5 to go here in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. 2 running backs, Algier and Bijan Robinson, in the game. Algier is going to spread out to the right. It's going to be a dump off to Robinson with a head full of steam. Picks up a first down. Pushed out of bounds by Dante Jackson. Now they're going to rule it just a yard short. It's interesting to see how the Falcons are going to use those 2 running backs, and we're seeing it so far that they're kind of going with them spread out from one another, setting up with the 2 running back set, and then both of them go their opposite ways coming out of the backfield. One uses the receiver, one as a blocker, or one with the carry, one with the block. It's the same play again. Robinson with a move out to the right. Cousins is going to throw. It is intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott, his first pick as a Steeler. Cousins last year threw only 5 interceptions in the 8 games. This year, though, he has 1 to start. It looked like he was being pressured across the middle by Larry Ogunjobi. Was just trying to get it out somewhere, but Elliott with the diving pick. Steelers getting the ball around the 50-yard line. Intended for Drake London. 4:02 to go here in the first quarter. Let's take a look at what happened there with Kirk Cousins throwing that interception. Robinson was headed out to the right. The intended pass was to Drake London. Cousins scanned across the middle looking for Mooney, then Pitts, then London. And with Larry Ogunjobi coming right into his face, pass over the middle was intercepted by the veteran safety, Deshaun Elliott. Here's a pass to Pickens. He's going nowhere, going backwards, in fact. James Smith-Williams drops him for a loss of 5 on the play. First pass caught by Pickens of the season. Last year, the Steelers with a plus 11 turnover differential. That was the 3rd best in the NFL. 2nd and 15. Jalen Warren, the running back. Fields looked like he was going to throw. He runs into a man, trips and stumbles, then powers forward. Picks up about only 2 on the play. He was looking for Warren initially out of the backfield, but Warren didn't have his head turned around, so Fields tried to run with it, stumbled, and ended up stumbling into a 2-yard gain. Third and 12 on the play. In the preseason, right tackle Broderick Jones had a really rough couple of games, particularly against the Buffalo Bills. So far today, he's looked solid. Fields drops back, he's going to throw right around the first down marker, hauled in by Pickens, caught, and they're going to rule him about just a yard short. Let's take a look, maybe see if he got there. It was intended for Pickens, defended by A.J. Terrell. Pickens, the leading receiver last season, they're going to rule it 4th and 1. Last year, 1,140 yards, 5 touchdowns. They're going to go for it on 4th and 1. Warren, the running back, 6 yards behind. No, they're going to change it to a first down. Steelers will remain on the field. It's a handoff to Warren, and he's going to get plowed backwards. Mike Hughes got into the backfield for the TFL. Hughes, a free agent signing last year after a season spent in Detroit. He won the starting job over Clark Phillips III. And right there, a nice play. Fields under center, Najee Harris back in the game. And before they could do anything, a timeout was called. Or something. A stoppage. On 2nd and 11 with 1:37 to go in the first quarter. Tie game at 3. The first down markers were indicating that it was 4th down still, so Fields was rather confused. Russell Wilson saying, it's 2nd down, it's 2nd down. Everyone putting up the 2 fingers. It is 2nd down, that is a true fact, 2nd and 11. Fields in the shotgun with Harris to his left. Van Jefferson moves from right to left. It's a give to Harris right up the middle. He's going to spin through a tackle, stay on his feet, pushing. Using that big frame, he's going to get smacked backwards, loses his helmet on the play, gets up, and him and Jesse Bates get into it. A little bit of some pushing and shoving now. Watch out, watch out. Bates and Simmons were not happy as we have a bit of a dust-up. Darnell Washington, the big tight end, came in. Harris got his helmet smacked off. Actually, he got it pulled off, in fact. Bates pulled it up, and Harris got it right into his face, and some pushing and shoving between the two. 3rd and 3 now. Empty backfield, 5 receivers. And the Falcons will take their first timeout on 3rd and 3. Taking another look at it again, that if Bates was able to pull that face mask off, that has to be called as a face mask penalty, shouldn't it? If he was able to pull the helmet off. No call though. Or some sort of penalty that should not be going uncalled. If he loses his helmet like that. Harris got right up into Bates' face, who then took kind of a push at Calvin Austin Jr. Washington came in, trying to settle things down, being authoritative. 3rd and 3. Warren in the backfield. Bunch formation. Field is going to throw. It's caught by Pickens. Let's see, did he get there? It's right at the line. It's right at the first down marker. And they are going to call it a first. That might be the final play of this first quarter. Pickens came back on the route and was able, it looks like, to pick up the first down. He caught the ball right at the first and then was pushed out. So we will see. We'll check the play. It'll be ruled a first down. Coming up the next 15 minutes, the first quarter is through. 3-3 here in Atlanta. Back, start of the second quarter here. Falcons are winning the total yards, but the Steelers are winning the time of possession. There's a fake toss, now a handoff to Pickens, running right. He's going the wrong way, trying to spin out. Watch out, he's losing yards. He's losing yards fast. Big loss on the play. He lost about 10 yards on that play. It was Grady Jarrett who got there in the backfield. There's a fake handoff to Harris, then an end around to Pickens. Pickens then tried to cut back right, tried to make a move, and he was going nowhere. Banged down by the veteran Grady Jarrett. Jarrett, the second longest tenured Falcon. He suffered a torn ACL last season in Week 8, so that ended his season prematurely. 2nd and 19 on the play. It's a give. Harris running right. He's going to get brought down pretty quickly by Judon. Judon acquired in a trade from New England. Suffered a torn bicep that limited him to just 4 games last season. Falcons haven't had an edge rusher who had 2 or more sacks in a game since Lorenzo Carter did it 3 years ago. 3rd and forever. 3rd and 18. It'll be another handoff. Running to the right, Cordell Patterson with a head full of steam. He's going to get smacked down. Well short of the line to gain pickup of 6 on the play. Last year, Matt Canada, former offensive coordinator of the Steelers, was receiving a lot of criticism for his seemingly endless run plays on draws on 3rd and 10 or whatever. With a new offensive coordinator, the Steelers hopefully being able to rid themselves of that accusation. Another 50-yarder from Chris Boswell. End over end kick, 51 yards out. It is good. 12:54 to go here in the second. The Steelers now ahead 6-3. We will be back. Kirk Cousins back on the field after throwing that interception last time out. Some scores around the league. New Orleans Saints at home against the Carolina Panthers after the first quarter are up 17-0. And then here's a surprise. In Buffalo, Arizona Cardinals are up 10-0. 5 minutes into the second quarter. Further updates will be provided shortly. Boswell with the kick. It will be fielded at the 1 by Ray McLeod. Brought out. Running right. He's going to look. He's going to make a move. Spun down and brought down around the 28-yard line. DeMarvin Leal with the stop. So back on the field will be Kirk Cousins after his first interception. Signed a 4-year, $180 million contract in March after 6 seasons in Minnesota. He's returning from a torn Achilles, and Falcons are moving on from Desmond Ridder, the Desmond Ridder experience, it seemed like that was pretty much of a failure. Recently got cut by the Arizona Cardinals, losing the backup job. Here's Cousins across the middle, hauled in. Nice catch by Drake London with those strong hands. Able to keep it away from any of possible harm's way. Last year, the franchise rookie record. Bijan Robinson, 1,463 yards, plus 8 touchdowns. That was a pickup of 7 on the play by London. They brought in Darnell Mooney in a trade from the Chicago Bears, former teammate and receiver of Justin Fields. A snap, a handoff to the left for Robinson. Fights through a couple of tackles, tries to get through Queen and Highsmith. Can't get to the first, it looked like. Maybe stretched out. We'll check the spot. Alex Highsmith, who had a huge 2022 with 14.5 sacks and led the league with 5 forced fumbles. They'll rule it a first down. Had a quieter season last year, only 7 sacks. And he'll play a big role with this excellent linebacking group. Could be the best in the league. Here's a give to Robinson up the middle. He's going to get dragged back. Pickup of only 3 on the play. Brought down by Cameron Hayward. Hayward entering his 14th season in the league. He's now age 35, a former first-round pick in 2011 out of Ohio State. Signed an extension on Tuesday for 3 years, $45 million. However, that will bring him through. That will keep him around until the 2027 season. Would have been a free agent after this year. Charlie Warner in motion. It's going to be a dump off. Check down to Robinson. Running behind his blockers. Picks up the first down. Got up and rumbled his way. Pickup of 8 on the play. Tackle by Elliott. Robinson last year was 4th among running backs in receiving yards with 487. .17 to go in the second. Robinson takes a breather, so it'll be Tyler Algier in the backfield. And before they could do anything, timeout was called. Let's check what happened there. They took the right guard Chris Lindstrom off the field. He's going to be checked out on the sideline. Entering the game is Kyle Hinton, former 7th round pick out of Washburn University back in 2020 by the Vikings. Was signed last year. Veteran Lindstrom, former 1st round pick in 2019 out of Boston College. Looked like he went down after and was a bit shaken up after that catch and run by Robinson. Cousins takes a snap, looks right, is going to pass, and it's broken up. What a play out there by Elliott. He's been showing out early. It was intended for Charlie Warner. Speaking of Charlie Warner, the free agent acquisition, last year only 3 catches for 32 yards, so he was mostly used as a blocker. First season in Atlanta after a couple years spent in San Francisco. And right there gets his first target. In 2022, he had 0 catches. So we'll see if the Falcons decide to use him more as a receiving threat, mostly used as a blocker and a special teamer. Here's Mooney running around. It's another give to Robinson, who cuts back to the left, and what a tackle up there. Coming downhill was Minkah Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick last season was limited to only 10 games after hamstring and knee injuries. He sniffed out that play pretty quick. Came running downhill right away, and the nice tackle stops Robinson before he can gain a single yard. That brings up 3rd and 10. The terrible towels are out in Atlanta. Steelers fans travel well. 3rd and 10. Pressure coming. Cousins steps up. He's going to throw downfield, and it's incomplete, intended for Mooney. Off his hands and out of bounds. That'll bring up 4th and 10. So the Steelers, after picking up the field goal, force a nice couple of plays. That was tipped just barely by Dante Jackson and made it difficult for Mooney to catch. Bradley Pinion will come in to punt it away. Liam McCullough is the long snapper. Back to return is Calvin Austin. Career long of returns of 34 yards. He will backpedal and field it at the 9. Moves to his left, trying to get the edge, gets around a couple of defenders and a good block upfield. Run out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Return of 13 yards. So a drive that was stopped by a couple of incompletions and good tackles. Steelers getting the ball back. They are ahead 6-3, 8:58 to go in the second quarter. First 2 drives resulted in field goals, both of them 10-play drives for the Steelers. They will start at their own 22-yard line. Michael Pruitt in the game as a fullback. It's a fake handoff to Harris. Pass is caught by Harris after Fields had a lot of pressure in his face. Pickup of maybe 8 or 9. Nine yards on the play. Eddie Goldman was able to get to him, and with the big hit. Speaking of Eddie Goldman, he's retired twice in the past 2 seasons. Hasn't played an official snap since 2021. There's a toss. Harris running right, banged forward by Ebiketie for the first down. Eddie Goldman, initially in 2022, 13 days after the Falcons signed him, he retired and was reinstated from the retired list back in March of 2023, but was placed back on the exempt list in July 2023 again. Just a few months ago in April, he was released but signed back to the 53-man roster and made the team. Here's a run by Fields. Out of the backfield. using those legs, pick up a 5 on the play. But Goldman, who, when he was healthy, was excellent against the run when we last saw him after a couple of seasons spent with the Chicago Bears. He made the 53-man roster out of training camp, and now, with that nice play, getting to the quarterback and forcing a dump-off pass. Darnell Washington, the tight end, with a nice block, setting up a run by Patterson, who backs his way. Let's see what the spot is, right at the line to gain. I'll mark him 1 yard short. Cordell Patterson in his career 9 kickoff return touchdowns. That is the most in NFL history, and has the longest, tied for the longest, possible play in NFL history. 109-yard kickoff return back in 2013. Here's Fields lining up under center and diving forward for the first down. Not quite the tush push that the Eagles made popular last season, but Fields just dove forward, pickup of 3. There's 6.5 to go now. A lot of running so far this game. Not many big completions. It's an empty backfield though. Fields, with a linebacker blitz in his face, is going to pass. It is caught by Pickens, who juggled it and was able to regain possession and fall out of bounds, pushed out of bounds by Bates. Fields with his 6th completion of the day. George Pickens lost it, gathered it in, dragged the 2 knees, and fell out of bounds. He led the team in receptions last year, even though he was catching passes from a couple of interesting bunches. Here's a snap to Fields, flag flies. Looked like he was trying to hand it off, but then decided to run with it. Cut back from the right to the left, and we'll see what that flag is about. Pickup of 2 on the run. Oh my. Let's see what happened. A lot of discussion down there on the field. They called a false start before the play could even happen. Van Jefferson, the wide receiver, went backwards and he knew it. So no play, back him up 5 yards. 2nd and 13 upcoming. Fields so far today, 6 of 8 for just 25 yards. See what they decide to do here on 2nd and 13. Jalen Warren, backup running back in the game. And they'll go his way. Check down out of the backfield. Running to the left, breaks through 1 tackle, but was devoured by Falcons. Only got 4 on the play. Simmons and Caden Ellis on the stop. Steelers went with a offensive lineman, the left guard Anderson, in motion with a block on that play. 3rd and 9. Fields airs it out downfield, looking deep. It is caught by Pickens. What a catch! Over the top of Terrell. Big play. There is a flag down though, and we'll see what that's about. Pickup of 27. Pickens went up over the top of Terrell, and they may be calling offensive pass interference. He did create some separation by pushing off the right shoulder of Terrell. And I will go and unplug whatever is causing all that talking in the background, but Good catch by Pickens, but right away, flag flew from the back judge. So the first big play gets wiped out by a offensive pass interference call. Falcons will rush just 3 on 3rd and 19. Pass caught out of the backfield. Warren breaks a tackle, moves to the left, stays on his feet, escapes another tackle, and finally brought down by Judon. They got 9, but that is way short. Need 19 on the play. So, big play on 3rd and 13 gets negated by offensive pass interference. Then on 3rd and 19, doesn't get anywhere. And Falcons were a little late getting onto the field with everybody. Steelers will punt for the first time. Cameron Johnston, free agent signing from Australia, with a good kick fielded by Williams around the 11-yard line. So a drive that looked like it was going somewhere gets stopped by penalty. 6-3 with 3:50 to go in the second quarter. Welcome back. The Falcons are backed up at their own 10-yard line after a good punt by Johnston. Cousins is going to drop back. He's going to look. He's going to throw. Coming back to catch it is Ray McLeod. He's going to carry a couple of defenders and push that around short of the first. McLeod, a former Steeler, spent a couple years in Pittsburgh. Free agent signing this offseason out of San Francisco. First 3 drives resulted in a field goal, then a pick, and then a punt. So all that's left to do is score a touchdown now. So Falcons hoping that they can do that. Pickup of 9 on the play to McLeod, who stays in the game as the slot receiver. It's Robinson in the backfield. London in motion as it's a give to Robinson up the gut. Picks up the first, but not much more than that. Stopped by the rookie Peyton Wilson. Cousins is going to look. He's going to air it out. Wobbler down the field. Oh, what a catch! Ray McLeod got up and made the snag. Look at that. McLeod with an impressive play. The ball was a wobbler. And McLeod leapt up. No one was there. It was kind of just thrown into no man's land. TJ Watt was coming in and interfered with the play. Smacked Cousins' hand. Good play, good pickup. There's a pass caught by Kyle Pitts, his first catch. Dropped by Beanie Bishop, the undrafted free agent. The only undrafted free agent who made the opening 53-man roster for either team. That'll bring us down to the 2-minute warning. Good play. That ball was knocked out. It arguably could have been ruled a fumble, but it was long enough that Ray McLeod could get down the field and haul it in. Longest play for either team today. 6-3, 2-minute warning time. We'll be back.